Welcome back, Marble Race fans, to a new series on our channel, the Competitive Individual Marble League. This league is a little bit different than our other leagues, and so as such, we are going to go ahead and do this presentation style video. There won't be any actual marble racing in it, but this will be for a reference, for people can understand the new system that we're utilizing for this particular league. The first up is we're going to introduce what is going on. What exactly is the Competitive Individual Marble League? The Competitive Individual Marble League is a multi-tiered league of marble events designed to encourage marble sportsmanship, highlight individual marble performance, as well as to encourage viewer participation. So what is the purpose of this presentation? As I said, all it is that this is a semi-unique style of play that has never been seen in any other marble league, to include those being brought to you by T&D Marble Entertainment. And we want to cover over some of these aspects so that you as the viewer can understand and appreciate what we're going to be doing with the rest of this season. Now we're going to talk about the league. So the league is going to consist of 4 separate tiers. And each tier is going to have a very distinctive feature to it. We're going to start with the top level tier. This is going to be what we call the Premier Individual Marble League, and this is going to be the topmost tier in the league. The best way to think about this is the professionals. These are the ones that they've exhibited the abilities of marbles to excel above the others, and this league is going to consist of, or this tier is going to consist of 16 slots are going to be available for marbles at this level. Tier 2, we're going to call that the Semi-Professional Marble League. It is one step below the Premier League, but these are still professionals. This is designed to prepare marbles for that higher level or higher tier, and for them to practice if they are demoted after the higher tier. And we're going to talk about demotions here in a couple minutes, so just kind of hold on to that for a couple seconds. There are also going to be 16 slots available in this league. Tier 3 is the Senior Individual Marble League. This is actually a recreation league if you're familiar with how most sports are set up. And this is going to be usually the starting point for most marblers that wish to showcase their skills in hope of advancing to the professional levels. And as well as the other two, there will be 16 slots available in this league. Tier 4 is the Junior Individual Marble League. This is the lowest league, and it is also a purely recreational league. As a recreational league, there will only be a single videotape or televised event once per year, but there will be an unlimited number of slots. So the number of marbles in this group can fluctuate anywhere from a couple up into in the dozens. We are utilizing this service to encourage the growth of an individual marble as the season progresses, to move from stage to stage and to highlight the advancement of marbles. But there is a trade-off. Marbles that don't appear to be ready at their current league or the current tier, they will be relegated down to a lower level. So here's our season format. Now the first season is going to be a little bit different than the other seasons in the future, and the reason for that is because the first one we're ironing out the different formats. So how it's going to begin is the first season we're going to start off with the Tier 4 event first. At the one event at the end of it, the 2 highest placing marbles of that event will be automatically promoted into the next level. Prior to this event, we are also going to have a single standalone event where the marbles are going to be divided into their respective tiers. So there will be a set of races. It will be on the next video. There's 3 of them, and at the end of that conclusion of that video, we will have our tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 leagues established. Back to this, in the first season, Tiers 1, 2, and 3 will each start with 14 marbles. And the reason for this is since we're starting with the possibility of advancement out of the 4th tier into the 3rd tier, we need to ensure that the 3rd tier had 2 slots available to move into it. The 3rd tier will eventually take the 2 marbles from the 4th tier by promoting up. We're making the 16 marbles for that tier. Being a recreational league, there will be a 3 event tryout. that will be televised, and that's just like I just said a couple minutes ago. So let's talk about season standings now and how this is going to be worked out. There will be multiple standings that we're using throughout this league, and during this part of the presentation, we're going to talk about seasonal standings. For tiers 1, 2, and 3, each event will carry an equal part of the overall season standings, and these season standings will be used to determine promotions and relegations. On all 3 tiers, only the top 8 places per event will receive points toward the final standings. And below here you see what each position will earn you point-wise. If you finish an event between 9 and 16, you will receive 0 points for that event. First place is going to get 25, and it rolls down to 2 points for 8th place. And this will be for every event you're going to earn these points. These points will then roll into your overall standings. In the event that we have a tie with season standings, that is not going to be permitted in these standings, and we're going to use an elimination style format to determine where each individual marble should be lined up at. In order to follow this, the tie-breaking procedures are going to be as follow. If they are tied point-wise, we're going to move to a total medal count. That's your first tiebreaker. So whichever marble has the most medals will be declared the higher rated, seeded, or high ranking in the standings. If the medal count is identical, then we move over into the gold medal count. Gold medal count the same, we move down to silver. Since there's no need to count the bronzes, because if they have the same number of gold, same number of silvers, and the same number of total medals, we don't have a special one for the bronze, so we go into the 4th place finishes. We add up how many 4th place finishes each one had, and we continue this down until we find that one marble has proved themselves to be better than the other. However, if in the event that they have completely identical points, medals, and everything is identical down the board, then we will have a single race-off race between all the marbles that are tied to identify who holds the higher rank. We're also, and this is our first unique feature to this particular league, it's going to be called career standings. Now in career standings, we're introducing a new concept. It's called the TDD, or we're going to shorten it down to the TD. It is the T&D Marble Entertainment dollars. These aren't real dollars, so don't think that we're paying money out for this. These are virtual money that we can use to kind of give a career standing reading, much like a regular professional sports league. Unlike your season standings that will reset for every year, career earnings will continue to roll over until a marble is retired, and we will maintain a running sheet as to a history of earnings. And below you can see how these break down, with 50,000 to the first place tier 1 earner, down to 8th place with a $250 tier 2. Tier 3, being a recreational league, will not receive any money for their wins or losses, and we're going to cover another part of that on the next slide. Now we're going to talk about mentorship. Mentorship is another unique thing to this particular league. And what we're doing with the mentorship is that each tier 1 marble will be assigned a 2nd tier and a 3rd tier marble to serve as their senior mentor. The tier 2 marble will be assigned the same tier 3 marble as the tier 1 marble was. So basically, if we have a marble that's in tier 1, 2 marbles will fall under them. This is supposed to be like a mentorship type idea. Through the mentorship marbles will not always be in the season standings. The membership marble will have an effect on career innings. Basically what we're saying here is that nothing that a mentored marble does is going to affect the mentoring marble as far as anything in their career. But they can have an effect on the career innings, and we're going to talk about this. So mentors will receive 10% bonus of all earnings that are made by their mentored marbles. So if you're a tier 1 marble and your tier 2 marble that you mentor comes in first place, you're going to receive 10% of whatever that marble earned. Now, the marble still earns the 25,000, but the mentor marble will get an additional 2,500. When a marble is promoted out of their tier or relegated down out of their tier, they will be assigned a new mentor, and the old mentors will be assigned new marbles to mentor. So if you're in tier 2, you move up to tier 1, you no longer are going to be mentored by the other tier 1 marble. Now, one thing that is kind of exciting about this, continuing on with the TDs, so any marble that is promoted out of tier 3 or receives an acceptance to move into the professional levels of tier 1, tier 2, they're going to receive an automatic 1,000 TD signing bonus for the advancement to the professional level. Marbles that are promoted out of tier 2 and going into tier 3 or tier 1 will receive a 5,000 TD signing bonus upon entering the Premier League. Additionally, the senior and junior mentors will receive mentorship pay equal to the amount received for the promotion of all mentored marbles. So that tier 3 marble, when he got promoted out and he got $1,000 to be promoted into the tier 2, his senior mentor, which is the tier 1 mentor, will receive $1,000, and the tier 2 mentor, the junior mentor, will also receive $1,000. The last thing that's unique to our league is sponsorships. So any viewer of this league, or any viewer of any of the entertainment on T&D Marble Entertainment, can request sponsorship of up to 4 marbles during the course of the season. Additional marbles may be added later under certain circumstances, and we'll cover that in a moment here, up to a maximum of 6 marbles. Sponsorship is going to be on a first come first served basis. If there's a marble that you see, he really intrigues you, by all means you need to get in contact with us so we can assign that marble to you. If the marble is already assigned, then we will afford you the opportunity to choose another marble or retract your request for sponsorship. When the initial season begins, a sponsor can have 1 marble per tier. If the first season a sponsor marble is promoted or relegated, the sponsor may retain both marbles in the same tier and choose another marble in the empty tier. So if you have a tier 2 marble, it gets promoted to tier 1. Now you have 2 tier 1 marbles. You're permitted to keep both of those tier 1 marbles and take on a tier 2 marble to replace the one that you lost. That is the exception to policy we were talking about a couple minutes ago, where you can actually have up to a maximum of 6 marbles. And once you have 6, that's it. You can't take any more marbles. So let's talk about the sponsorship cup now. Sponsors receive special recognition after each video, as well as receive credits toward the sponsorship cup. Sponsor marbles may be dropped and new sponsors may be added throughout the season. However, the sponsor will only receive points earned while the marbles that they're sponsoring. So if you start off the season with 1 marble and he does kind of lackluster, you don't want that marble anymore, and you see another marble he's doing pretty good, you will still get the points for all the points that your marble you start out earned. But once you drop him from sponsorship and you pick up the other marble, you don't get the points that that marble had already earned. You'll start earning the points from the day that you pick up that marble as a sponsor. In addition to that, at the end of each season, we will be presenting a virtual sponsorship cup. There'll be a mini presentation at the end of the final video that will talk about the outstanding sponsor of that particular season, and we will give you an extra bonus kudo for being the sponsor for that particular marble and what you have done for the progression of the league. Going back to the league standings, and something that we didn't cover thoroughly is that After the first season, with the start of the second season, we will actually be, instead of starting with the tier 4, we're going to start with the tier 1. Tier 1 has 10 events. With the 10 events, they will be conducted once a week, and after the fourth week, when we're going into the fifth week, we will start to do our tier 2 events, since tier 2 is a 5 event season. And after we get to the 7th week, where the tier 3 has 3 events, we will then have tier 1, 2, and 3 all competing 1 event per week. And then with the last week, which is week 10, we'll actually have 4 events, which will start off with the tier 4, that 1 event race that we have that determines who moves out. Then we move into the tier 3 event, the tier 2 event, and the tier 1 event is going to close out the season. And then we'll be able to have a ceremony where we get to watch marbles getting promoted, relegated down, and we crown our various champions. We're really excited about this new format that we're going with. We're really excited about this league. We're looking forward to having each and every one of you not only watching our videos, but actually becoming active participants. Like I said, feel free to come back, review this video at any time. Don't even have to really watch it. This is more for informational purposes, so people that are new to the show or new to this particular channel can come on here and see what we're doing, how we got there, and how the points are breaking down, and just really get a good feel for it. We're excited. Like I said, if you wish to desire to sponsor a marble, there is the directions right there. Feel free to either make a comment to any of the videos in the T&D Marble Entertainment realm, or you can also email us at tndmarble@outlook.com. Please include your screen name that you wish to use. We would prefer not to use actual names if we don't have to, but if you feel comfortable with that, by all means, make sure to include that in there. This is Terry with T&D Marble Entertainment. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this. We look forward to what we got in plan. And remember, as always, marbles have feelings. So treat each marble with respect, and we'll see you at the races.